Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is the 29th of September. My name is Nadia Osman and my sign language interpreter is Ilhan. We've got a number of stories lined up for you from this week. But first, we want to give you the headlines.
We remind ourselves and remind the world that Islam categorically prohibits homosexuality.
No to LGBTQ. Muslims reaffirm their commitment stand against LGBTQ community agenda.
There are a very good number of women who are participating in the political side. There are many who are participating in different aspects.
Palestinian women. We look at the history, challenges, and the future of a Palestinian woman in occupied Palestinian territory.
The continued process has really converted an otherwise green area into a desert.
Stop deforestation. Garissa leaders raise concerns as refugees fuel deforestation in the region.
Now, on our top story, in a reaffirmation of its core beliefs and teachings, Islam has once again asserted its stance against the LGBTQ+ community, emphasizing that this fundamental position remains unchanged. In his address on Friday at Jamia Mosque, Nairobi, Deputy Chairman Professor Abdulatif Isaji said Islamic teachings are deeply rooted in tradition and scripture and have consistently held that homosexual acts are incompatible with the faith's moral and ethical principles. He revealed that Jamia Mosque Nairobi has joined other interested parties and have filed a petition to have the Supreme Court's decision allowing registration of the LGBTQ+ community reversed.
Muslims today and people of the world are finding themselves under siege. People of the world today are under siege, being bombarded with messages about homosexuality, being bombarded with messages about LGBTQ+. And we are being forced to accept this undesired behavior, a behavior that was never known on earth before the people of Qawm Lut. Today, when we speak against homosexuality, as I'm going to speak today, because that is the position of Islam, and it will never change. The position of Muslims and Islam against homosexuality will never change ila yawm al-qiyamah. Come what happens. We remind ourselves and remind the world that Islam categorically prohibits homosexuality. Its teachings, the teaching of Islam on gender relations and sexual norms are fundamental. They are fundamental and they are not separable. You cannot separate them from the belief in Allah. And you cannot separate them from the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is foundational and fundamental.
Now, still on the same topic, Muslims in the country have called for the immediate resignation of the 3 judges involved in a ruling that allowed the LGBTQ+ movement in Kenya to register their organization. Speaking at Jamia Mosque, Professor Abdulatif Isaji expressed a deep concern over the ruling by the Supreme Court allowing the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and queer community to form an association, saying it has betrayed the trust Kenyans have placed in the apex court. He said the ruling contradicts the religious and cultural values held by Kenyans.
Our constitution clearly states that marriage is between a man and a woman. And I've also said that as per our penal code, homosexuality is a crime punishable by a jail sentence of up to 14 years. In Kenya, it is punishable by a jail sentence of up to 14 years. It is strange and defeats logic and understanding that 3 judges of the Supreme Court chose to ignore these legal provisions. And they ruled that groups promoting homosexual relationships have a right of association. Groups that are promoting homosexual behavior have a right of association, and that they be allowed to register themselves as non-governmental organizations. Like other Kenyans, as Muslims, we totally oppose this ruling. And we say that these 3 judges did a great disservice to the Constitution and the people of Kenya, and they are not fit to hold such an honorable, weighty, and mighty position of responsibility in this country. They should actually resign, because they have betrayed the Constitution of Kenya, and they have betrayed the trust that Kenya has placed in that court, the Supreme Court. On the other hand, we commend and laud the 2 justices who disagreed and dissented against that ruling. Justice Muhammad Ibrahim and Justice William Ouko. These are the true heroes and the patriots of this nation, because they took a stand. We ask these 3 judges, in the spirit of the words of the 2 justices, Muhammad Ibrahim and William Ouko, will you then allow thieves, robbers, rapists, and terrorists to have a right of association? Will you allow robbers, rapists, thieves, and terrorists who are considered criminals under our penal code to also have a right of being registered as a non-governmental organization? Wallahi, shame on you. As Muslims, we support the efforts of Homa Bay MP, Homa Bay Town MP, Peter Kaluma, and call upon legislators, both in the National Assembly and also the Senate, to come out in full support of the Family Protection Bill of 2023. This bill aims at safeguarding our morals, safeguarding and protecting our families, culture, religious values that we as Kenyans hold in very high regard.
And also on this, Kenyans have been urged to be vigilant in an effort to ensure children are not introduced to homosexuality reading materials in schools through sex education. Jamia Mosque Committee, Nairobi, through Deputy Chairperson Professor Abdul Latif, urged parents to pay close attention to the
talked to anyone in so long.
We will rise up to the top. They will never bring us down. We won't fade into the night. Allah help us.
27th Feb. And that's the 10th time Sully tried to call me. Now, I'm not sure who tried contacting me more, him or Janae. They're good guys, don't get me wrong. But right now, I just want to be left alone. Eventually, I'll open up more and return back to normal life. In this world, we are free men. We have no limits or constrictions, but still I'm trapped with a burden I don't wish to share with others. And you can't blame me for it. Like, what good is there me being in the mosque where other people will just be in my face, asking me how I am? Can they get me anything? Can they do anything for me? I'm just not ready to face the world yet. Not until my life gets back in order. Right now, problems are piling up, but they're not problems I'm bringing onto myself. But me going out, meeting people, well, people are unpredictable. Like, you never know what you're going to get from them. I just can't see much benefit in mixing with people right now. They should understand that I want to be left alone. Having said that, it may be good to get some motivation from others, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm flopping a little. Like, I keep getting notifications on my phone to like recite a verse or make a dua. And don't get me wrong, I always intend to do it. Like, really, I do. But then life happens and I get pulled in one direction and then another. And all these issues just start plaguing my mind and I forget what I really have to do. But I'm still fulfilling my obligations. I just need to do more. Maybe meeting people in a masjid is a small price to pay, if it means that there will be brothers who will motivate me to do more.
When we feel down, we all have a tendency to isolate ourselves from the people of goodness and the places of goodness, right? Now, no doubt, Brother Adam, alone time has its merits, but in most cases, this kind of isolation only ends up widening our injuries and deepening our sorrows. You see, it's not just about the positive things that people can offer us when we're down, but more so about the positive vibes involved in merely being in those places, with or without people. Adam, in short, do all what you can to be present within the gatherings of knowledge and the places of goodness and the people of remembrance, because the tranquility that you complain of having lost is certainly found in the masjid. You are aware of the hadith of our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who said, وَمَجْتَمَعَ قَوْمٌ فِي بَيْتٍ مِّن بُيُوتِ اللَّهِ. Whenever a people gather in one of the houses of Allah, يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ, as they recite the Quran, condition number 1, وَيَتَدَارَسُونَهُ بَيْنَهُمْ, and they study it together, condition number 2. What is the outcome? إِلَّا نَزَلَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّكِينَةُ, tranquility will descend upon them. وَغَشِيَتْهُمُ الرَّحْمَةُ, mercy will envelop them. وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ, and the angels will cover them. وَذَكَرَهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي مَنْ عِنْدَهُ, that's the ultimate one. And Allah will remember them with the assembly who are with Him. So if someone ever asks you, where do I find this tranquility that at this moment in my life I've been stripped of? Say to him, the masjid. Where do I source the mercy of Allah? One may ask you, say the masjid. Where can I find angelic presence when I'm being terrorized by devilish thoughts? Say to him, the masjid. There is something so mysterious and warm and calming and empowering when the masjid, the Quran, and mutual study, they come together. A mystery, a warmth that can only be described by the people who've experienced it. Now, regardless of how much you may dislike, Brother Adam, meeting a person or persons whom you worry maybe at the masjid when you go there, never allow a human being, a mortal, to stand between you and the house of Allah. It's just as much yours as it is His and theirs. So why deprive yourself from the companionship of angels and the subsequent inner peace which this offers you because of a Tom or a Dick or a Harry that you worry maybe at the masjid? Human beings. But wait, there's more. Those who visit the masjid frequently are helped by the angels during their challenging circumstances. Did you know that? So many troubles were unlocked for them by virtue of an angel whom Allah sent their way without them even realizing it. You want proof, brother Adam? Didn't our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam say in a remarkable hadith, "Inna lil masajidi awtada." Mosques possess pegs. Hum awtaduha. The worshippers in those mosques are its pegs. Lahum julasa min al-malaika. They have angels who sit with them. فَإِنْ غَابُوا سَأَلُوا عَنْهُمْ. If they go missing, the angels